tuning in. We have another episode of New Life here. This brand new year, brand new you, brand new life. Come on with it, New Life. So today we're going to talk about family. So you're embarking upon another year of life, and you have your brother who's been here with you, visiting. How's that been? Because he was an adult when you were a kid. So how has that been so far?
It's been cool. I mean, I've been having fun with him. I've been learning some stuff that I didn't know about my older brother. Not saying I didn't know, but it's just that once you're not around a person for so long, you tend to learn different things about him. He still is the same. I mean, he's champ. So it's not nothing different. It's just that, he's a little bit older, moves a little bit slower, but the same humor and wit and, just overall personality is still there. So, yeah, it's a joy though. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's cool.
All right,
It's big, bro. It's cool.
So you've still been getting a lot of messages about family. Like, what is it that people are needing to hear? Because family is just a source of contention for a lot of different individuals. So what is it that you feel like is needed right now? Let me go back. We have Natalie here. I'm so glad to have you back, Natalie. You got to join in because this is an important
topic.
topic.
To be back.
Because y'all are, it's your brother. So
yeah,
I need
it's
you
good to be back. It's
So-
good to be back.
Let's talk about it. Like, let's get into the ugly truth. Because people hitting you with some, like, you telling me to read some of this stuff, and it's unbelievable.
I mean, what is some of the stuff you read? I mean, just shoot it at me, huh?
Well, one of the things that I read is that one of the things that really stuck out was there was a young lady who said that, look, I thought that my family was going to be here. It's like they came the first time to make sure, I guess, that she was straight. I'm like, how are you straight with cancer? But I guess they wanted to make sure she had it. So as soon as they found out, that was it. They didn't help her with anything. Like, she was like, so what do I do now? Like, I can't work. My bills are falling behind. Like, getting rides to the hospital is just non-existent. And I'm like, wow. You wouldn't expect that. You would expect your family to
Clean to you.
Yeah, to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
So you would expect the total opposite of what she experienced in
Right.
essence. So that was actually the main thing that really stuck out. Because I'm like, how do you help somebody who's really, you already need help. You probably never had to ask for help. So when I thought that you were going to give it without me asking, I'm still stuck.
Well, I remember that. Yeah, that question that I showed. But my answer to that question would be, speaking from my experience, yes, you do think that family is going to be there. You think that everything is going to work out the way it should be. And, especially with a family of my size, all the sisters and brothers that I have and nieces and everything. I mean, basically, you thought you was going to have an outpouring and an overwhelming support, but it was just the opposite. Hell, I had a brother that worked in the hospital I haven't seen once. You know what I mean? I worked, and I think I elaborated on it a little bit, spoke on it briefly in the earlier podcast, but yeah, he actually worked there, and I was at the hospital 5 days a week, doing chemo and infusions and treatments and stuff like that. And when I was really in my worst time, and I had my brother used to come from New Orleans and come and sit with me in chemo. So he used to come from New Orleans, all the way from New Orleans to Georgia, and sit with me in chemo. And my brother who worked in the hospital, he had to go get him and bring him to see. You remember one time he brought him to see where I was, and then when he got there, he started talking. It wasn't talk about how I was doing or anything like that. It was talk about his A1C level. So, I mean, but hey, man, people do what they do. Matter of fact, scratch that twice. He came to see me twice. He came to see me once after the surgery, after I got a surgery. But he was there every day. But anyway, needless to say, I know the feeling that she had, so I just offered her my advice, and I just said in those situations that God put, people around you that that need you in that particular certain time. You know what I mean? Because family can mess a lot of stuff up at times. I mean, family's a good thing, but family sometimes you got a lot of messed up things in the way they think and the way they selfishness in their culture and stuff like that, how they are. You know what I'm saying? And it'll hinder you as opposed to help you, so it'll make it worse. Because when you have cancer and things like that, especially in my situation, like I was explaining to her, when you have a situation where my situation was so delicate, it was touch and go. You know what I mean? I am in a 1%. I am a 1% survivor. I was stage 4. I was, you know what I'm saying? I had a 99% chance that I wouldn't be here. So I couldn't focus on who did it hurt. Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, it's still, you still have to ask God to remove the hurt from your heart that you had, because I carried that for a while and I gave it up to God, and I'm cool, and that's how I'm able to flourish now and able to do the things. But like I told her, don't let that bind you. But getting back to what I was saying about that other situation, about the support wise and stuff like that, and what God and who God and what God puts around you, and you know, He puts what you need around you, and not necessarily what you want around you, and that's a good thing. So, and it's going to be decisions, like I told her as well. It's going to be decisions that you got to make. That's not popular, you know, like you can't make decisions for what people want and how people feel. Sometimes you gotta say bump people's feelings because it's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's somebody that says you can't worry about how if Sister Susie feels this way because Sister Eloise is doing what she's supposed to do. Well, Sister Susie needs to step up and do it how Sister Eloise is doing it.
Well, the question is that do you, because in essence, people really don't know what you need. Or should I expect for you to know? Should I wait for you to ask? Or do you think family should offer?
I think family should offer, especially in a case like that. Like,
well, you offered. I remember, like you offered. You were on it.
Yeah, I had to. You know, like anything else would have been uncivilized for me, and it wouldn't have set right with me. Like I had to be there.
Real talk, Natalie, that's Nat, man. That's always been that. Melissa was there too. Nat's little sister, she was there too. You know, give props to Melissa. She always called and checked on me and talked to me and stuff like that. Little Lloyd, her little brother, he was also there too. Not to, you know, mention, you know, whatever. Lloyd was really, really there. You know, Lloyd came and sat with me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like he checked on me and did his thing. But man, Melissa checked me like, oh, like, you know. That whole little clique, you know, they were really, really like there for me, and that's what me, and that's what, you know, used to make me. They see me at my worst, you know what I'm saying, and they see me when other family members didn't see, like my own siblings didn't see me, and that's why they're like my. I mean, that's my cousin, but I don't look at them like my cousins. Like we're first cousins, but that's like my sister. You know what I mean? And it's like my little blood, like my little brother, stuff like that. But I had siblings, man, that lived. Like I was explaining to the young lady again, I had siblings that lived it's 13 of us. My mom had 13 kids.
Yeah,
and
13.
I would literally say that out of the 13, a good, that I communicated with and talked to on a consistent basis, the usual suspects, as I call them, and as people see, I don't want to get it wrong, because I'm going to be like, they know, I'm not even there. I'll just say, less than half. Is that safe to say?
What? Like 5?
I was thinking 5.
Yeah, I think 5.
I was that I communicated with on a consistent and constant basis.
That was checking
in on a consistent.
Yeah, I would say 5. It was about 5.
5.5.
I would say a strong 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
6.
Now my apologies if I'm missing
5 in the
somebody,
possible.
but
5 in the possible.
5.5.
Like space or whatever.
Well, the question is like, how do you? So if I'm an individual, because you get these questions day in and day out. How do you change it? You know, like how do I? You know, it's difficult to really ask because a lot of times you can only formulate thoughts and not verbalize it because you're weakened.
Well, the thing
like
about
how
it
do you
is,
change it?
See, the thing about that is too, like, right, and you pray, you know, you pray a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I did was I prayed a lot. To be honest with you, it was time for me to get, you know, in tune with what God wanted me to do and what the path that He wanted me to. You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to slow down and be different and just do things differently. Like the way I even think before the cancer, be, you know, just living life, doing my thing, enjoying my kids, whatever. Now, you know, that makes you put everything in perspective. Like the veil is stripped off. Like I had a veil over me, but it's stripped off, and you see life for what it really is and what it,
I agree.
What everything is, and how precious life is, and how everything matters. So to me, like people always say, well, I had a conversation with one of my nieces, and they said, well, Uncle, we didn't know it was that bad. Life be lifing. Life be life, and I said, okay, I respect that. I mean, right, life be life. even on this side, even on the side with cancer, even though you have it, life doesn't stop. My bills didn't stop. My kids were in college. You know, I had a kid in college. I had things to do. Nothing stopped. Nothing did say, okay, because you have cancer, this stops. But the thing that hurt, not only did it stop, I was capable enough to maintain, and God put people in my life in position to help me maintain. But as far as family members, nobody really reached out and said, here, that's the thing that hurt. And you know what I'm saying? That's the thing that really hurt me, because nobody really said, hey, how are you paying your light bill this month? How is your water getting paid?
Right.
How is he eating? Or they assume that the person that's with me that's gonna feed me, or they're around me, they're gonna feed me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, my son was a senior in college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how has that affected him? How's his mental? How's he feeling? Just check on him. Let me call him and check on him and see how he's doing. Let me see what's going on, man. I had a sister I seen 2 months ago, man, at my little brother's house for the first time in 2 years, and she lives 15 minutes away. And at first, she didn't look at me, and I spoke. I said, how you doing? The first thing she said to me was, oh, you don't come around my house. You don't come to my neck of the woods. Now, I don't even leave home that much. You know me. I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere. I go here. Anybody knows me knows I don't go anywhere.
Right.
That really knows me knows I'm home 90% of the time. Unless 10 minutes I'm traveling out, I take my trips out, to get out. You know what I mean? But now I'm just maintaining. But that's what you say to me. You have to see me 10 times. You didn't say, well, brother, you look good, or God bless you for maintaining you and keeping you in God's grace and God's, in covenant, God's covenant, and His blood look good. You look good. You don't look like what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of peeved me. But I just said, listen, God bless you, sis. I love you, and that's it. And I kept it moving.
And at that point, that's all you can say.
Yeah. So with that, it's just the point that, like, we'll elaborate on the second part of it. We'll come back.
We will, because the thing about it is, I think we want to really get into it, because what he's also leaving out is that actually some of your siblings you haven't seen since your father passed.
Which is 2 months before my diagnosis.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know what, we gonna cliffhang it right there, because I think that's a perfect place to just pause.
Yeah.
So y'all, I need y'all to tune in for part 2, because I think Mr. Neau has a lot that he wants to share, but he's pausing on this.
I agree.
So we gonna pause on it too. Until next time, New Life for Life.